Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Now I'm going for a head shave today. I just want to mention something that I popped up on Flash Boredom's channel yesterday. I was just watching it, I put the captions on because I was watching it really quiet. Fuck, it's funny. I watch my own back now with captions on and it fucking cracks me up. But there's a part where he actually says, I bought this off a guy. And I think it said something like POTUS esophagi. So I put a video up, a little screenshot. I pissed myself laughing when I read it. The wife actually woke up and hit me with the old elbow. So, cracks me up sometimes watching stuff in the dark when it's fucking, you can't turn it up too loud and you've got to put them captions on. So, if you put it on my channel, it's just as much of a laugh, I can assure you. Anyway, shaving soap for today is West Coast Shaving FOUGERE. Now the scent on this, it's a herbaceous forest scent. Now I don't know exactly what's in here. I'm pretty sure there's a bit of wintergreen in here. Very, very similar in terms of scent to Face Fat Green FOUGERE. Now I would say this is a slightly, excuse me, this is probably a little bit more complex in terms of what's actually in here. It's a stronger scent strength as well. This sits around about a 5 in scent strength out the tub, whereas the Face Fat's around about a 3 to a 4. So there's a little bit more scent strength in here. It is a firm soap. It's quite hard. It's not like the shaving cream that West Coast Shaving I've just released from Katie's Bubbles. So this soap here is a duck fat formulation, a duck fat base, which has been formulated and created by Vida over at Oleo Soapworks. Now, I personally haven't had the best of luck with Oleo Soapworks with regards to having reactions to the soaps, and the one that did work for me that was an excellent product from start to finish, I just didn't go on with the scent, which was the Pasteur's scent, Smoke on the Water, the very first duck fat that Oleo Soapworks released. So, excuse me. So I'm going to be using my Karve shaving brush again. Now this came in yesterday as a gift, as part of basically a gift box from Chris over at Karve to say thank you for not only helping out with sort of basically trying to chase up orders and trying to help people obviously get their orders sorted and make sure they're actually on the way. So I spent a lot of my own time trying to help him out because I really believe in the product. I think his razors are the best on the planet in my opinion from what I've used. So I'm going to use this brush again today. I'm going to use this for a little while actually and just sort of break it in. Now it's a Super Badger knot. Now from reading up on Super Badger yesterday, it's apparently the highest class quality of knot, because what they basically do is they get all the knot hairs and then they remove all the sort of shorter hairs and the crap that's running through it and just leave in here the high quality longer hairs with the softer tips. Now there's a very, very slight amount of scritch with this, which is surprising for a silver tip. The hairs actually are silver tip hairs, they just call it a Super Badger because it's been built a little bit differently to a normal silver tip. So here we go, straight into this beautiful Oleo Soapworks, should I say West Coast Shaving. So not Oleo Soapworks, it is made by them, but it's West Coast Shaving. So I'm just dipping the tips every now and then just to take another little bit of load in. Now I don't bloom my soaps, so it normally takes a little bit longer. The scent is flying out the tub now. Oh, really nice. It is a beautiful scent, I have to say. I wasn't a massive fan of FOUGERE when I first smelled it, but I think the first one that I smelled was quite floral. Similar to Holy Cow, FOUGERE Bouquet, which for me is an absolutely beautiful scent, but probably just a little bit too on the floral side for me. So I'm just getting a good load on here. As you can see, it appears to be loading up very well. It is a very small knot. It is only a 20mm knot, which is obviously partly the reason why these brushes are sold a little bit cheaper than if it had been like a 24, 26 or 28mm knot. Right, so there's the brush loaded. I am using the front facing camera today, so it's not the best of quality, it's a little bit lacking. But as I said before, when it comes to the head shaves, it just picks up more of the area, it picks up my little mirror back there, so you can see the back of the head being shaved as well. Oh, even this bit of lather that you scoop out of the tub is super thick. Let's just rub this all over. So I'm going to be finishing this shave off today with Moyle Grooming Frosted Heliopteris, which is Sunfern, and it's basically Moyle Grooming's Fougere, so it will match lovely with this scent. So here we go with the loaded brush with the loaded Karve 20mm Super Badger hand turned wooden handle, and the handle I believe is made from maple, which has been coloured and glued together and then turned, and I cannot find any flaws really in this either. Now what I do love about this is this little coin in the bottom here is aluminium. It does look a little bit odd on the bottom there, but it just adds a little bit of class to the brush. Here we go, I'm just going to dip the tips. This will need a lot of water. Oleo Soapworks duck fat formulation is renowned for being one of the thirstiest soaps going, so you need to really give this one a good drink. Can't get that bit of lather off, there we go. But as long as you hydrate it enough and you get enough water in it, you'll be absolutely over the moon with the results, I can assure you. It wasn't the lather itself or the base that was the killer for me previously, it was mainly the scents, I believe. I just reacted to the scents from Oleo Soapworks. So, fingers crossed, I'm good with this one. Just lathers up so easy. Look at that. Now this will take, like I say, a lot of water, so I'm going to give it because I want the slickness. Now I know this soap is very, very slick anyway, so just adding that little bit extra water in there isn't going to harm it whatsoever. You can see how thick that is already. So I think I'm pretty much where I want to be. Now I do have the head blade on standby today just in case. I'm not sure how this is going to go. So there we go. 20mm knot is completely chock-a-block full of soap. Now the razor of choice today is loaded with a Persona made in Glasgow blade. It says made in the UK, but they are made in Great Britain. But these ones are likely made in Glasgow between the 1940s and the 1960s, and they are shit hot blades, I can assure you. And the razor for today is the Karve 3.5 inch handle. Now I've just found out that there's only 4 of these handles in the world, and it's called the Argyle. You probably cannot see the pattern on here, but it is a different pattern to the normal Karve razors. I'm just blown away that he sent me this over, absolutely blown away. I need to cut my nails as well, just scrub it. And I've got the F plate on here, so as you can see hopefully, well you won't see actually because this camera's crap on the front. It's the F plate, and I've got a brand new blade, and pretty much a limited edition, one of 4 in the world handle. I'm just blown away that that was sent over to me. I had no idea how rare they were. So here we go with the F plate. Wish me luck. You can see that is working an absolute treat. It's super smooth. There is a lot of blade feel, I will say. So you do have to be careful. Oh, wow. But super smooth. It's literally a one pull job, you don't have to really buff with it with the grain. So here we go against the grain. Wow. Now I'm not expecting a perfect shave today. It's the first time with the F plate, first time on my head. And the angle from the Karve razor is slightly different to that of my Calypso R1 from above the tie. But I can tell you right now that it's smoother than the R1. I would say it's ever so slightly more efficient than the R1. Now I think I have nicked myself on the back, but that's fine. I don't mind that until I find out pretty much exactly how to use this razor and where the angle is. I'm expecting blood. Wow, that is just like a hot knife through butter. Now that is extremely efficient. You do feel the blade. It's very, very smooth, so you do get a sort of false sense of security with it as such. But the results speak for themselves, really. No, I don't think I have cut myself actually, I think. Don't know what's going on, but wow. Yeah, I think what's happened is I think I'm just getting a little bit of irritation from it, so it's, like I say, it's a very, very efficient razor, the F plate. Just into the sink out because it's chock-a-block full of here. It's just going to take time to get used to that higher efficiency razor. I haven't used anything this aggressive on my head for a very long time. At the tips. Right, and since I do have a little bit of irritation, I'm not going to finish the shave with the Karve. I'm just going to pump straight into the head blade. Now I've got the 6-blade cartridge on here, which didn't feel too great last time, but we'll see how it feels today. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I think the slickness in the soap makes a difference as well. It's very, very slick soap from West Coast Shaving. To be fair, there's not a lot of hair left on most of my head anyway. So I don't know whether you heard that there, but there was literally no hair to be cut on the back there. In fact, it's pretty much BBS. Definitely high quality soap, it really is. It is as good as anything I've used, to be honest, and that wasn't even a thick lather on the second one. I did sort of struggle to keep the lather going. And other than this little part here, that is pretty much as BBS as you'll ever get. You can see I just put a bit more water on the razor and it's still as slick as snot. Just great, great quality shaving soap. Now, I'm not sure whether I've got any weepers or anything as yet, but we'll soon find out. So I'm not going to rinse the brush out because I'm going to be using it for my face shave, but it was the Karve shaving wooden handle maple sort of skateboard effect or whatever they call it. It is varnished. It's a really nice finish on the Karve coin on the bottom and a 20mm super badge and all, which is really, really nice. It's got a little bit of scritch and scratchy, but it's not too much even for me. I'm pretty whingy when it comes to knots, so it's quite a good knot really. FOUGERE from West Coast Shaving, absolutely stunning scent. It's really nice. I'm really enjoying that scent. It's not too flowery or anything like that. It's quite, as it says, a herbaceous FOUGERE, and it's just a lovely, lovely scent to it. The performance on the soap, especially for head shavers, is really, really high quality stuff. It's slick, it's protective, it's cushiony, even with a very, very thin layer on your skin. Let's see how much blood we've got. Fucking shitloads. Absolutely shitloads. So, like I say, very, very efficient, very aggressive razor. For those of you out there that are huge fans of just give me a second. For those of you out there that are big fans of razors like the R41, probably the H1 from Above the Tie, really efficient, aggressive razors, you'll probably like this one. You just have to tame it, as you can see. So I'm going to wet my head. And then I'm going to tackle it with some alum. Woo! Like I say, it's just going to take a little while to get used to it. I might find that the E-plate works better for me. Who knows? I shall try the E-plate on my next head shave, which won't be for a few days, because I'll be letting my skin heal a little bit, because it's going to be in for a little bit of pain for the next day or so, maybe even longer. Just give that a dry off. So I thought that was going to be really, really burny, stingy, but it wasn't too bad, so I'm happy with that, I suppose. Got to take some sort of positives out of it. I'll just let that sit for a minute. The razor for today was loaded with a Persona made in Glasgow blade, 1940s to 1960s, so it is a vintage blade, and it was housed inside the Karve razor with the F plate, which is 1.23mm of blade gap, which is huge, and you can even see the blade gap on it is massive. It really is massive. But even though I've got weepers and I've got a little bit of rotation in the back of my head, it's a very, very smooth, comfortable razor to use. Part of the reason why I've ended up like this is because it is so smooth and comfortable. I didn't realise I was probably pushing too heavy, no idea. But amazing little shave, and I finished off with the head blade today. The head blade Moto plastic with a 6-blade cartridge. And the 6 blades don't really cut it for me. I do like them, they're alright for a couple of shaves, but I prefer the 4 blades over the 3 and the 6. And I do hear that the Persona, I think it's Persona 2-blade cartridges work absolutely perfectly fine on it. So there we go, I think that's pretty much healed everything up. Beautiful. Let me just double check. Yeah, no blood now. Good old Allen block does a treat. Now I am going to finish off with some Moyle Grooming Eleopteris frosted version with menthol. But I'll do the whole head and face after I do my face shave straight after this one. So stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next shave. Cheers.